Okay, hi everyone. Let's start this meeting. My name is Sampath Ram, and I've been trading for about a year. And I wanted to share whatever I have learned through this 1 year journey of trading the stocks and options. In the beginning, I have made lot of mistakes where I lost a lot of money. Then, which led me into curiosity as to I am doing something wrong and I need to learn how to trade and also how to become a better trader in entering and exiting any trade, be it futures or be it stocks or anything, whatever you name. So I wanted to share these few technical analysis tips so that everyone will become better at trading without making the same mistakes that I did. Uh, so are you guys able to see my screen or not yet?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, Sampath. Yeah, now it is.
Okay, great. Uh, so before I start explaining about this technical analysis, how many of you are aware of auction, like any kind of auction? Has anyone been to any auction in the past, not related to stocks but in general, in like a car auction or a house auction or anything of an auction sort? Has anyone been?
Mr. Morphy,
Yes, we
we
did.
know you to have.
Great. So what happens in an auction where there would be bidding that is taking place? There would be a bidding that takes place which increases the price of a particular item if it's worthwhile, right? So in the same manner, uh, stocks also stocks or any asset that is traded has the same principle. When when there are more buyers, automatically the price of an asset or price of an item would automatically go up, and that's what we are looking for even when we trade in stocks or in an option or any asset class that we want to buy or sell. And we want to identify whether there are more buyers or more sellers that are present for a given asset. Like for example, it's always good to see a big picture of any chart that you would want to analyze before buying in. So let's take for example Facebook, and I type in the ticker symbol FB, and here is what I come up with. And as you can see, the price action has been pretty like increasing, which means the buyers are coming in and taking the price higher because any stock has fixed number of stocks, and so the more number of bidders come, and the stock price would go up automatically. The same principle applies to anything uh, that is being traded. When there are more buyers, automatically the price of a particular item will go up. In the same way, let's take for example this Facebook stock. As you could see, the indication that whether there are buyers or sellers is just the lows of the candles. So I'm here on the 1 year 1 day chart, 1 year 1 day chart, which gives me a bigger picture view as to what is happening right now. And I wanted to tell, just based on the lows of these candles, you could tell that the lows are constantly increasing, right? That indicates that there are buyers. Uh, so you would want to take a long position instead of short when the bigger picture is telling you that, hey, the lows of the candles are increasing. So you don't want to short that. You always want to be on the correct side of the trade where the dominance is present. So currently, as you can see, the dominance here is like first it gapped up and then it gapped down a little, like it went down a little, like lower lows have formed, but the lower lows are not so lower. Like it's the low of this candle right over here is not lower than the previous low, and that is why it is still bullish. So you would want to take a long position at anywhere around this lower region. And so the momentum continued to the upside where buyers are bidding higher and higher, and so the lows constantly kept rising. So in this region, you would be entering a bullish position. About what happens here, so there is a consolidation range where the price is staying around the same range. The lows, if you observe, they're also around the same range, right? and the highs also around the same range. That's called consolidation, where buyers and sellers are in equilibrium and they're not able to take the price to the next stage, either a higher high or a lower low. But what happened here in this candle? um, the price went down. It made a lower low compared to the previous low, right? And so the trend has reversed here. And from this point on, you can take a bearish position, because the low of this big candle here is lower than this big green candle that took the price a lot higher. And another indication for being at the short side is the high. If you observe the high, it's lower than the previous high that was formed. So if you enter a short position, knowing that the low was formed, like lower low was formed, you would be able to capture all of this down move. Now, what is happening in the current scenario? Let me zoom in or see what is happening right now. The lows are increasing, right? And then it's around a small tight range. The buyers and sellers are fighting with each other, but the lows are increasing over here in the last 3 candles, right? That indicates that there is a buying pressure coming from the buyers. So what would you expect next to happen when there are buyers that are coming in, taking the higher lows and also higher highs of these candles, which means that the buying pressure increases, and so you could expect an upside move if no other news or some factor that would come in. Did you guys get what I'm saying? Any questions so far? If no questions, let me continue.
Sampath,
Yeah.
when you started, you showed those 4 red candles, right? I didn't get what you mentioned. They were lows.
So the lows of these candles are around a small tight range, right? If you see here, they're almost around the same range. So it's still in a consolidation range, I would say. It didn't make a lower low than the previous low.
So
Then
right at this point, right? How can you say after 4 days there was a big green candle? So how can you say, yeah, tomorrow it's going to be a big green candle?
We cannot. We can only tell based on the consolidation range. Actually, it made a higher high, right? So if you think of it like a wave that is traveling.
Yeah.
So if you see the high of this previous area, high was somewhere around 246, right? Then you have a wave up where it gapped up for any reason, be it earnings. It look for in this chart, it looks to be the earnings that caused these gap up, right? So right after the gap, after the earnings, it made a higher high than the previous region, right? So the wave started to go up. That indicates a bullish momentum. And no stock can go constantly up or constantly down. So there are always like buyers and sellers fighting with each other, making the price go sideways. That's what is happening here. It made a higher high compared to here. Then price is now consolidating. It didn't make a lower low than this green candle over here to tell that it is a bearish yet.
Okay.
Okay, so the wave started over here, made a small dip, then going up, and then moving sideways. If you observe the lows, it didn't make a lower low than this green candle, so the bullish stance still remains. So you could take a long position anywhere over here, and you could capture the next wave up. And oftentimes you would see me giving like price targets and such. How I do that is just basically analyzing these candles. Like if you draw a pattern of, like if you draw lines connecting the highs, let's say for example, if you connect a line connecting the highs of the candles and lows of the candles, you would see like a triangular pattern that formed. So if the price breaks out of that triangular region, you would then have a big move, which is identical to the length of the side of the triangle. In this case, let's say, for example, what is the length of the triangle from 254 to 278? Or I would say, okay, let me extend this a little bit. Okay, let me extend it to the same area where I would take the length of the triangle. So around 253 to 279, which is about 27 points. So if the triangle breaks out from this region where it's making a higher high and a higher low, the price will break out of this region, and this is the indication that it's breaking out. And from here, like from this point, you add 28 points. You would get the target where the wave is headed. Like for example, 270 is the place where it broke out, right? It came out of this consolidation range, came out of this triangle. And so from 270, you add 27 points, which would roughly take you to 300 target. And this is what you see, right? Yeah, this is the beauty of like breakouts. So you only want to, if you can play just these breakouts, you would make really good money, because you know that the buyers are coming in to take the price higher. So you want to be on the long side and not short it. If you know that if you're seeing this higher lows formed.
Sampath, a small question though. Why did we actually connect the tip of that wick to the red candle? Shouldn't it?
It could be like this too. It would then be a right angle triangle breakout. But since the lows are almost in the same range, I connected the bottoms. You must be getting an idea right now, right? Like why I connected the lows. And similarly, in the same angle, I tried to draw the highs. And that's why I tried to connect the last one. You get what I mean? The angle at which the lower side is.
Okay, so we wanted to get an angle. Always we should try to get an angle connecting first connect the lows and try to get the angle on the top. Is that how we proceed to
Yes,
when we
yes.
draw?
That's how usually what I would do. But not all charts look alike. Some would be like it. There would be right angle triangle formation. This is just one kind of a breakout that happened, and where you could know what would be the next price target that would be identical to the side of the triangle. So these kind of breakouts happen even intraday as well. But if you get a bigger picture as to what is happening on the daily time frame, then you would definitely be on the right side of the trade instead of focusing on the smaller time frame moves, which will cause you anxiety. If you know a bigger picture and then you take position based on that, you would make a really good decision as to whether you need to go long or short. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it answered. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I will move on to the next topic of finding support and resistances.
So are we expecting a breakout for Facebook now?
Let's see. Let's connect the lows again. So the bottommost low you see on this wave pattern is over here, right? So you connect the low, then you extend it by connecting the other lines. Let me activate it even further. And then the recent high is over here, right? So I would draw one more line connecting here. As you can see clearly that the wave is traveling upside, making a higher low in the last 3 candles, right? And yes, if it is possible that this price could be broken out of this consolidation range above this 270, it would then fly. It would then fly to the target of about let me see, 243 to 270. Again, roughly about 25 points from 270, which would again take us to roughly 300 target.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
No problem. So to analyze any of the charts, you only need a candle chart. You need nothing else. And sorry, one more thing is the volume. You only need these two things. Any other indicators that you would use, like RSI, MACD, they're all lagging indicators. They would tell after the candle is closed. So those are all lagging indicators. So ideally, I would prefer to just use volume and the candle chart to check whether there are buyers dominating or sellers dominating, to identify whether I need to enter a long position or a short position. If you see this kind of sideways price action, you don't want to take any position because it would just be choppy. Your option prices would be killed during this time frame. So you would want to enter when there is kind of this breakout that is happening, like maybe one candle prayer. You need to see a sign of higher lows formed and higher highs formed. Then you take a stance. And
So,
then you take off.
so I've seen many traders actually making use of the Fibonacci lines to say like where is going to be the major resistance and major support lines coming up. So is it a mix of Fib and also the triangle patterns?
What is it mix of?
Oh, so sorry, the question is not clear. I've seen traders making use of Fibonacci lines to actually say like where is the support, where is the resistance, and where we
Yeah,
can
I'll
buy.
come to that. Support and resistances. That's the next topic that I'm going to cover.
Okay, so Fibonacci line has been used for that purpose to find the support and resistance.
No, I'll tell you that. It's
Okay. Okay.
it's a different topic. I'll tell you. Let me see. Okay, so if no other questions, I'll jump to the next topic of finding support and resistances. So what does support really mean? Support means where the buyers are dominating. What does resistance mean? The sellers are dominating at that point. Like for example, in the same chart, when a price is reversed from a given price level, like say for example, from the highs, the price started falling, and it couldn't go back up until it found a point where uh, it, there are no more sellers, and so the price reversed over here. See the wave; it's making lower lows constantly. Like if you observe the lows of the candles, it made a small higher low here, but the high is still lower high. So it's still not considered a trend reversal. So there is constant lower lows forming.
Oi.
But at this point where the price started to reverse to the upside, where it made a higher high, like you observe, it didn't quite make a higher high just yet, but it made an attempt to go. You see the buyers and sellers are almost again coming to the same region, the consolidation region, right? So this is also another consolidation region, but the trend is towards the downside. So if I draw a line here, the bottom, the price level, and just connecting the dip of this.
Sam, your voice is not audible. Looks like someone got in mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear. Looks like someone is not has muted themselves. I can hear other noises.
Okay.
Your voice is not audible.
Is it clear now?
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Let me mute everybody. Okay. So guys, how to find support resistance or resistance is simply finding where that reversal has happened. Like for example, let's start with the basic of finding resistance, where the price reversed to the downside. You see the chart, the all-time high of 304 is what the highest that you have on this chart. And so if you draw a line connecting the top, that would be your first resistance line, where the price started to go down from there. And then to find the support line, a similar line that you can draw is from the bottom, where the buyers dominated, and from then on the price took off to the high side, making a higher high, right? So in a similar fashion, let's draw intermediate support and resistance lines in between these bigger lines, right? These are like, this is the highest resistance, and lowest line that you drew here is like strong support, where buyers came in at this region and took it to the next level. And when the price is in between these two, you would again have several consolidation regions like here, right? This region is a consolidation region. Again, over here, this is also a consolidation region where price moved sideways, where buyers and sellers fighting with each other it still didn't decide the direction. But if you see the green candles forming here with the higher highs, then that led to making the price move to the upside. So intermediate support I would draw over here, which connects to the tip of the candle here. From this point on, the price reversed, right? It didn't make a lower low or lower than this last low. So your stance should still be bullish because it's still in the upside, right? You consider from the bottom, it's still in upside. So you would consider it still bullish. And it reversed around this candle, right? You see a long wick here with a green color. That means buyers came in from this point on to take the price higher. They didn't take it like sellers couldn't dominate to make the price lower than this low. So this is a strong support. And so if you see the price coming back to this level, you would see a bounce. Ideally, you would see a bounce because that's where buyers came in. They took it higher. And similarly, after this resistance, let's draw another resistance line where the price started to reverse. Where would that be? Can you guys guess? Right after seeing, I'm guessing this level, because the way how I see this level is because there are many touchings for this particular line. Like when the price started to reverse from the top, it made an attempt to go higher, to make a higher high around this region, right? Like it made a lower high, lower low, right? And then lower low again here, and then lower high. But then if you see the next candle, it made close to the same level, which means it's trying to go up, but it couldn't cross this previous high, right? So that's why I drew a line that connects these highs. And you see there's a touching over here too, where after this big green, it tried to go above this level, but it couldn't. The sellers came in and then pushed it down. It's still green candle though, which means that there are buyers, but the buyers didn't had enough pressure to take it higher than this level, and so sellers dominated here and then took it down, right? So the more number of the touchings of candles the line that you draw has, the stronger that would be. Like as you can see here, how many touchings are there for this particular resistance line? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is also very close. We can call it 4 or 5, right? So the more number of lines that are touched for the line that you draw, the stronger that is. Stronger that line would be it resistance or support. Everybody clear as to how to find the support or resistance line? This applies to any asset, be it futures, be it stocks, any asset class where trading is involved, where buyers and sellers are involved in taking the price higher or lower. You can apply this principle. It doesn't matter what asset class you are trading. These principles apply to any kind of asset class. Is everybody clear on how to find the support and resistance lines?
So just a small question, Sampath. So if there's this usual saying like the past support becomes the current resistance. So if they say that is the case, if we see the first big green candle after the 4 small red candles, yeah, so that is where it took the support. So if we actually see that price line, would that be the resistance now? It broke up the resistance now and it just went up now, and so now the resistance would be at the tip of the wick.
Do you mean to say like over here, you could try to go above, but
Yeah, the tip of the wick is the next resistance, is what I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you could, this is like an intermediate resistance. So let's say you don't have any of this region of the chart and you are trading like at this point, you would see, okay, it made an attempt to go higher, but it couldn't, so they pushed it lower. And then the next candle, you would see similar thing happen. They barely closed above this line. And then you see this price, sideways price action.
Mm-hmm.
You could also draw in a similar fashion. Like instead of triangle that I drew, you could also draw in this manner. As you can see, the price consolidated in a tight range for several days. It's still in a
Okay.
small tight range, right? With making higher lows. It's an indication that buyers are still there trying to take the price higher. And so you would have a potential breakout opportunity. And it's what you can capture in this big green candle day when price closed above it. Here also it tried to close above it, but you see the wick on the top, there's selling pressure. But here, no, there's no selling pressure.
The body is full instead of awake.
Yes, exactly. Wick indicates that there is selling pressure from the top. And had this candle been just a solid green, I would still be a bullish stance at this point. But there is a long wick on the top, which is creating a selling pressure. So I would be cautious to take a long position here because there is a long wick on the top, which indicates selling pressure is still there.
Got it. So when you actually find a proper resistance, you will have to take it from the body of the candle instead of a wick.
No, you should also consider both. You should see the wick first, then the body.
Okay.
What is the tip of the wick? You draw that line, and then you see how the body looks like.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So is everybody clear on how to find the support and resistance lines? And remember, guys, you always need to get these support and resistance lines from the bigger picture view, like the daily chart. You will have multiple support and resistance if you see an intraday chart. Like for example, let's go with a 1 day 1 minute chart. Sorry, what was I telling? So we drew 2 support lines and 2 resistance lines. So then and let's draw one more. Then we will go to the intraday on how to analyze the trend. So overall, the chart looks pretty bullish now, right? Because it made an attempt to go up. It didn't make a lower low than this bottom support. So it's still bullish. And the reversals happened somewhere around this line. So we do another support line here. And same way, we draw another resistance line. We could draw another resistance line here because the price started to go up. But did it make a higher high constantly? No, it didn't. It made an attempt to go higher. And you see the candles that are formed here. The buying pressure came in from the support, and then it slowly cooled off. It is not something like a breakout where buyers are constantly coming and then taking higher high. But here you see the buying pressure is there, but it's reducing. The intensity of it is reducing, and that's why it's trying to go sideways like this. And so I drew another line connecting the top here, and if you extend it, you would also identify that the same resistance, the same point where the reversal happened over there, it would be like where the reversal happened. If you observe, it's exactly the same area that we were discussing just now, right? That's where the reversal happened. So these resistance support lines do work, I'm telling you, because imagine somebody who bought a long position here or holding stocks around this point, and they would see this kind of a down move coming back to their break even and going even lower. What would they do if that kind of thing happens? A typical buyer would do like they put a limit sell when it comes to their break even, right? And that's what has happened here. So when it came to this point, there would be selling pressure created, making it go down. But it didn't go down all the way down. Like it didn't make a lower low than this past low that was formed, right? It pulled back a little because of the selling pressure. And if you see the candle, it's not like solid red candle with a big size, not this kind, right? It's a small red candle. And so you could still take your bullish stance and wait for some more days to see if the price is consolidating around the range, and see if you can draw some trend lines which shows higher lows formed. And if yes, you can take a bullish stance. Is that clear? Let me so as for what we discussed, we are going to draw one more line, right? So there are so many lines here, so you can change the color of these to identify whether it's support or resistance to make it even better. And let me extend this line too. You would notice that there is a previous high over there. As you can see, oh, what happened? I'm trying to extend it. Okay, you see this this line where it bounced off from. It's around this previous high that was formed before it took off to make a higher high. That's the same point where it bounced off from. Okay, is everybody clear on how to find support and resistance lines for a given chart? If yes, the next thing, so what we covered so far is how to identify the trend, how to draw support and resistance lines, and how to identify whether there is a trend reversal. Oh, I didn't tell about the trend reversal, right? So whenever you see like a higher high and a higher low form, that's a trend reversal, because until this point, the price was moving sideways, right? It didn't make a higher high or a lower low. So from this point, it made a higher high here, meaning from this, if you just look at this wave, the high that formed here is higher than this previous region. So that's a reversal. And you also need to see the low, whether the low of this candle is lower than previous low or higher than previous low. As you can see, it's clearly that it's higher low, which indicates the trend has reversed. Maybe I can tell with an intraday example of how to identify the trend reversal even more clearer. But so far, are you guys clear on how to find the support and resistance lines, and also how to identify whether there is a bullish stance or bearish stance? Is everybody clear?
Yep.
Great. Okay, let me go to the intraday chart now with all of these lines that we drew, and see if we can identify some place that we can do, right? Okay, this is 1 day, 1 minute chart. Again, 1 day, 1 minute chart moves very fast. You will see this kind of a lot of variations. You don't need to panic at all. Whatever be the variation, whatever may be the variations, you know where you can take your stance, because we can identify with our naked eyes to see where we are headed. Like for example, right after open, you see a big red candle. And then after that, what happened? A kind of consolidation happened because the highs are around the same range, lows are around the same range, right? Would you take a stance there, be it bullish or bearish? No, because it's not clear there, right? Then what happened? Lower low formed here around this region, right? Do you see this red candle where it made a lower low than this previous region? Okay, let me draw another line. Imagine this was the low, and imagine this is the high of this particular region, right? If it's moving sideways and made a low attempt to make a lower low, then it means that the trend is down, right? And then when it went lower, again price moved sideways for a few candles, and then you see the dominance of green candle. So you always need to observe dominance, then take a stance. Dominance in a way that you can tell whether buyers are dominating or sellers are dominating. Like for example, you see these two candles that are present. There's a big green candle. Immediately, the next one is a big red candle of same proportion. That means it's still undecisive, because the way how this candle closed, it's still undecisive because the bottoms are almost the same. The high is a little higher than the previous. Sorry, the low is a little higher. Like the close is a little higher than the previous low. So there is still a tie between buyers and sellers. So you would wait until the price action decides the direction, then you take an action based on that. So what happened here is it made a lower low. Would you go short at the moment you see this lower low? No. You also need to identify whether the reversal that like when it tries to come back up, because nothing goes straight down, right? You need to wait for something to come back up. As you can see, it came back up, and you see the intensity of buyers reducing. It's not like solid green candles with this much height continuously. No, the intensity of the green candles are also reducing, as you can see, right? Big green candle and smaller green candle, even smaller green candle, right? That indicates that the buyers are no more able to take higher high than this level. That's when you short, not when you see this kind of lower low. You need a solid confirmation that when it makes an attempt to go up and fails, that's when you enter short. If you enter short here, you would capture this move. And you identify again same where to exit your short position. You again need to see a kind of higher high, higher low form. Where is it? Let's identify that. If you enter a short position here, you need to identify higher high and higher low. Where would that be? So you see here, the wave is traveling down, making a lower low each time, right? Made a lower low here. The highs that form here is still not higher than your entry point where you entered short. So it's still towards the downside. And the moment you see higher high and higher low, that's when you exit your short. Like for example, it's constantly making a lower low and a lower high, right? But then if you see this region right around here, you see it made a higher high, or it crossed this rejection point, like where this big red candle formed, it crossed it with a big intensity. So this is an indication that the price has reversed. It made a higher high and a higher low. You got what I mean? Think of it like a wave that is traveling. It travels down, then it reverts to making a higher high, right? That's when you exit your short position and you change your direction to bullish stance or exit your short position. Is it clear? But you may say, hey, these are intraday trades. Do you really want to trade based on these intraday fluctuations? Not necessarily. It depends on how much time you have and how much you want to spend time on the screen. If you can just trade based off these 1 year, 1 day charts, you know you're bullish. And so any pullback would be a good entry for long side. So you would enter long. And so let's say you want to trade FB today and you see this kind of movement. And you know the bigger picture says that bullish. Where would you enter long? You would enter when you see this kind of a reversal happening. Like, right? You get what I'm saying? So there's constant lower high form, but then around this region, the higher high and higher low form. This is when you enter on the next pullback. You see the intensity of selling also reduced over here. When it made a higher high and now it's trying to go down, but the intensity is reducing. That's when you enter long. You wait for the price action to manifest in your favor, where the selling pressure is reducing. You can see it by the intensity of these candles. And so you enter long position here, and you put your stop loss below the last low, because there is a higher high, right? Higher high is an indication that buyers are coming back in to take the price up. This is where you see the price action has reversed clearly. But then you may say, okay, where is my next intraday resistance? So whenever you draw this resistance on the daily chart, they would still appear in this intraday as well. As you can see, the price tried to go above the opening price, or you see this big red candle here. It tried to go above this price, but it couldn't. The way how I can tell that is just by seeing where the price has been started to go down. Just right around the open of this red candle, you see the price couldn't go higher high. So you could take, if you enter a long position here, I would see how the price action is around this region and take my profits. So this move right here is about how many points? Like let's say if you enter long here, 262 to about 264, that's $2 move. And if you have in the money option, that would be $200 for just this move. And if you have, like, let's say 10 contracts, that would be $2,000. So it's very easy to make money, guys. You just need to identify where you are entering. You should not enter blindly just because like first red candle, I'm going to enter short in the next candle. No, you don't do that. You would need to see confirmation as to lower highs for entering short and lower lows. And same way for the bullish stance. You need to see higher high and higher low forming for entering long. Is it clear?
Can you, for entering a long, the confirmation is
Higher high?
low, higher high. Okay.
Yes, higher high and a higher low.
On a higher low. Okay. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, that indicates that the buyers are coming in, right? Otherwise, the price would continue to go down.
Got it. Because sometimes I get confused looking at, I usually use SMA lines to identify whether it's going to take a support or not. But sometimes it goes south.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. That's why I never recommend the lagging indicators. You can see from your from your eyes that it's whether it's making a higher high or higher low. You don't need any lagging indicators for it. The lagging indicators.
so SMA is also a lagging indicator.
Yes, it is. It forms only after like few candles. So you will miss the price action at that time. So if you really want to get in for entry, I would take a smaller time frame, then enter, and then you can monitor in a bigger time frame, like maybe 15-minute chart or 1 hour chart.
Okay.
For entries, you always need to see these kind of price reversals and only then enter.
So I've always been using SMA lines and also the Bollinger Bands. The both are also lagging indicators.
Yeah, that's why I don't use them. These are the VWAP lines that you see here. VWAP.
Okay, I was like, why is my most of the trades which I take on my own goes south? This is like really a good session. Thanks, Sampath.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, guys? Sorry, we are running over time. And if you have any other questions, you can feel free to, message me.
Sampath, can you tell me like things you used in this chart, like
it's a
Bollinger Band and other things?
It's not Bollinger Band. It's just a regular candle chart and a volume that I see. One more thing I wanted to tell. Like if the reversal is happening at a bigger volume, that's a really good sign. Like it's like your stance can be strongly taken. Like if the reversal is happening at a bigger volume, like for example, you see these candles right here. You see decreasing volume, right? That indicates that sellers are not motivated, and so it's indirectly translates to buyers are going to come. And that's what has happened. In the next candle, what happened? Buyers jumped in to make it high, and that too with a bigger volume. That confirms that your analysis is right. Just volume can tell you whether your analysis is right or not. And if it comes like a big red candle over here trying to make a lower low, and again, you always need to wait for candle close. Don't enter a trade when candle is still being formed. It will just cause you anxiety. You wait for candle to close and see whether it's higher high or higher low. Based on that, you can take an action. Let's say if this green candle is not this big, and it tried to pull down all the way close to the close of this, I would still be bullish because it didn't close lower than previous low. Close, I mean to say this red candle, you see the body, it needs to close below this previous week, like low. That's when I say it's still following the bearish trend. Until then, I would not be bearish because I see a higher high here and a higher low also. And if volume confirms you that the move is in your direction, it's a clear indication that the trend has reversed. And RSI and MACD, I don't use them. They are just in the chart. I'm not a big fan of those because I can tell directly from the chart whether the trend has reversed or where the direction is or where we are headed. So I don't trust these lagging indicators, to be honest. So you enter a trade only when you see a clear setup. Do not enter in a hurry with a feeling of missing out. There is nothing called missing out. You have tons of opportunities every day. There are 5,000 stocks in stock market. So even if you miss one, there's always another opportunity. So you should never feel missed out. Imagine somebody jumping in a put position, not knowing the bigger picture, somewhere around here in this region where there is a strong support. They would be burned. The puts will become zero. So you should know a bigger picture first as to where we are headed and how the candles are formed to make a better decision. I hope this session is helpful for you guys. Thank you very much. And I'm not trying to stop this session in a hurry. I know I have exceeded the time, and so I don't want to take up more time. If you have any
Actually, this was very helpful for me at least. Thanks so much, Sampath.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And
Thanks, Sampath.
yeah, my pleasure.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care. And I'm
Bye-bye.
sharing this session. I'm going to be sharing this recording with everybody, so you could pass on to your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much again.
Yep. You're welcome. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Good night.